According to the AFP, the U.S. is planning to give $1 billion worth of arms to Iraq. Quote, the United States plans to sell nearly $1 billion worth of warplanes, armored vehicles, and surveillance aerostats to Iraq. The deal includes 24 AT-6C Texan II light attack aircraft, a turboprop plane manufactured by Beechcraft that has 50 caliber machine guns, advanced avionics, and can carry precision-guided bombs. The aircraft and related equipment and services are valued at $790 million. The deal also includes 200 unarmored Humvee vehicles with machine gun mounts worth $101 million. And Iraq purchased 7 aerostats, airships, or tethered balloons that rely on buoyant gas to provide surveillance for military installations and key infrastructure. The aerostats deployment towers were worth about $90 million. Now, keep in mind, even though the article keeps referring to the fact that Iraq is buying our weapons, they're not buying our weapons. No. We give them the money. This is the exact same thing that goes on with the military-industrial complex all across the world. I mean, we've done this with Egypt, for example. We give them money. They give the money back to our private defense contractors who get rich. Okay? They give them weapons. And then the defense contractors give the politicians some money, and the politicians keep the fucking contracts going to the defense industry so that they continue to get rich. It's all a ruse. It's all a ruse. And here's an issue. Remember when we did this with Afghanistan also? I mean, there was a great piece on Vice about this. We gave Afghanistan this gigantic airspace. Like, we created an airport for them, and there was all these, all this different armament there, and these helicopters and these airplanes, and they're just sitting there collecting dust. And then the guys from Vice were asking the people who run the area, they're like, wait a second, so these are sitting here, who's doing the maintenance, who's flying them, is anybody using them? And the guy's like, oh, no, nobody's flying them. Actually, we don't even have anybody that knows how to. So what happens? All of that stuff that U.S. taxpayer dollars went towards, you and I paid for that, right? What ends up happening? You have people coming in, taking the metal, scrapping it, and then selling it. So we spend all this money to do so-called reconstruction, and we end up building airports that nobody uses, helicopters nobody knows how to use, armament that nobody knows how to use, or worse, it gets in the wrong hands. I mean, there were stories of hospitals that can't even put the fucking lights on. We built hospitals for people, and they were just terribly done. There is shitty construction. The lights don't even fucking work. It's an area where nobody can even get to. I mean, the stories are just amazing. It shows you the waste that happens. And remember, guys, this isn't by accident. It's not like, whoops, we fucked up again. The primary concern is the military-industrial complex. So it doesn't matter that they fucked up and nobody's going to use them and we're just wasting money, because the whole purpose was to just give more dollars to these defense contractors who bought the politicians, who bribed the politicians. I mean, we've told the story of, the Abrams Tank Company. They gave a shitload of money lobbying politicians, right? And then they asked the politicians, okay, we need another contract. We want to get paid. The Pentagon stepped in and said, no, we don't need any more Abrams tanks, though. We don't need them. Stop. So what did Congress do? They say, yeah, anyway, shut the fuck up, Pentagon. Anyway, they passed the bill, and then they gave a massive contract to the Abrams Tank Company. Now the tanks are sitting in the middle of Nevada collecting dust. And then meanwhile, at the same time this is going on, what are they doing? Cutting unemployment, cutting food stamps, gutting the safety net. Our infrastructure has a grade of D. We can't fucking keep it updated. Never mind keep it updated. The fucking bridges are collapsing. Look at our priorities, man. It drives me fucking crazy. And then the final thing I'll say here, it gets even worse than that, because every time the United States gives weapons to an area in the Middle East, they always slip into the wrong fucking hands. So, for example, Syria. So we gave weapons to rebels in Syria, but half the rebel movement, now more than half the rebel movement, they're jihadists. So a lot of them have gotten their hands on our weapons. Okay? Also, when we gave weapons to the rebels, a lot of that slipped through the hands of the rebels, and now some of the pro-government forces are using our weapons, right? And not only that, some of the pro-government forces are Hezbollah. So we sent weapons to Syria, and now fucking Hezbollah has them. Or how about what happened with Libya? Of course, we bombed Gaddafi, tried to topple him, and we gave weapons to people who were fighting Gaddafi. What happened? Those are the same weapons that were used to kill the ambassador in Benghazi, in the consulate. That's the real Benghazi scandal, not the bullshit the Republicans are talking about. The scandal is we gave fucking weapons to crazy people who killed, our people. And then other examples, I mean, the Mujahideen, when in Afghanistan, we funded the Mujahideen because they were fighting the Soviet Union at the time. The Soviet Union, we hated communists so much that when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, we gave weapons to the Mujahideen to fight off the Soviets. And then what happened in the Mujahideen? Later on, they broke up into the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. So we gave our own weapons to the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Why? Because we can't help but fucking send our weapons everywhere because the military-industrial complex, we can't help but get involved because we're the dumb, overexpanded empire. It's just so stupid in so many ways, and when I read stuff like this, it always makes me think about how this isn't even a partisan issue. The overwhelming majority of the American people agree with us on this, but it still happens.